Vince, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well. I'm kind of jealous with the steak and eggs and what you say, bacon and
Yeah.
it sounds good right now.
Well, when's the last time
Sounds
you
very good right now.
When's the last time you were in snow?
2 days ago it snowed here. 2 days ago it snowed here in Memphis. Yeah,
Did people
not
freak
like
out?
not like what you're dealing with.
No.
No, not at all. But they're upset. They're like, this is ridiculous for it to snow here in Memphis right about now. But I guess that was the last dump we get, and we go from there. No, it's nothing like what you're dealing with, of course.
Do you feel out of bracket?
Not yet. It's funny you say that because there's one sitting right in front of me. I'm trying to not be as biased as one would think.
Could you ever
I'm
pick?
going to try to fill this out honestly.
Could you ever pick Duke to go further than North Carolina?
Hmm. Are we live?
Yeah.
I was just curious. I don't know. It just all depends. If I'm filling out the bracket for fun, not a chance.
Okay.
There you go.
But
This
if you're,
is a money bracket.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to go for the win.
What do you remember most about your college career?
This is the best time of the year. I think once regular season's over, getting into the ACC tournament, you're revving up now. You're revving up for the big dance, and we knew that we were set to get there. So we just had to get through the ACC tournament. We wanted to win it every year, of course, and we knew who we had to get through. That other school you talked about earlier. So we knew playing Duke is like the final tune-up for the NCAA tournament. I mean, it wasn't as many. I mean, it's been a while ago since I played, but it wasn't as many teams in the NCAA tournament. I think they've added 4 teams now since my time. Maybe more than that. But it's the best time of the year, and I think people who aren't big basketball fans look forward to playoff times in the NBA, and they look forward to the tournament time in college. And I mean, it's nothing better.
Yeah, and you and Antoine Jameson on that Carolina team. How did Carolina get
Right.
you? Like, who finished runner up for you?
Well, my Final Four schools are, how about this? Florida State, rivals, and Duke and Carolina, rivals. So it just made it tough. But, I mean, at the end of the day, what I was looking for, I mean, they all had some qualities that I was looking for. But at the end of the day, I mean, you walk into the Dean Dome, and it's just hard to say no to that opportunity. Coach Smith is a very convincing man. He was for what I was looking for as a student athlete. As far as just educators, I come from a family of educators. My entire family are all educators. Put it that way. They're all teachers of some sort, and that was important not only to me but my family as well. So he really stressed that. He really harped on us as I'm in college. I mean, he harped on us knowing our teachers by their first name, not just their last name, and sitting in the first 3 rows. Little things that probably as a student or let's say an athlete in general is something you don't like to do. You like to sit out of the way and just kind of do your thing and be done with it. But he required that, and they made sure that we were doing so. And he would pull you in and say, okay, so what's your science teacher's first name? And you're like, yeah, I expect you to know that in the next 2 days. So little things like that. He just taught us responsibility and just taking onus on our careers and our lives. So, I mean, we had great conversation leading up into my decision, and it just felt right. You wake up in the morning, it's like, you know what, that's where I'm supposed to be, and that's what happened.
If we had a 40 and over dunk contest,
I'm winning.
You are.
Yeah, my competitive nature would definitely shine through. I mean, I know this. No, I'm winning.
Is there anybody on the face of the earth who's 40 years of age or older who could jump where you jump?
I'm sure there is. It's just I'm fortunate enough to still play the game to where I'm in basketball shape. Maybe someone else at that age probably would have to get in shape for a while. So there's my advantage right there.
How many dunks do you have this season? Do you know?
Oh man, probably not just a handful. And I tell you, it's sometimes I'll get to the basket and I'll drive and in my mind, it sounds like a great idea. Everybody wants to do that.
And then you get up there.
Everybody wants to see the dunk. And it's like, okay, I have all these questions, these quick questions that, that I have in my head while this happens. Okay, if we do this, it's great for everyone else, but how will you feel when you land on the floor? It's not the takeoff. I always say it's the landing. And, some days I'm willing to deal with the landing. And some days I'm like, just lay it up or shoot the floater or runner or whatever. And, some people are like, oh, Vince, why'd you dunk? Back in the day, you would have dunked it. Yeah, but I don't have to deal with 40 years old landing on the ground now. So that's kind of the dilemma I face. And some days, like lately, I've just said, what the heck, go for it. And I felt good, and I'm all for the landing.
He's Vince Carter, the Memphis Grizzlies guard. Are you the best dunker on the team still?
Oh, man. I don't know. I tell you what, Jermichael Green is very capable. It'll be interesting. I can't. Brandon Wright is a dunker, but he's not a dunk contest dunker. So my competition, in my opinion, would probably be Jermichael Green right now.
But do these kids know how great you were, Vince? They know that there's YouTube out there.
I'm sure. Yeah, I think so. They know well. Because because of YouTube and social media, it passed through, and guys like, man, I saw this video, and we laugh about it, talk about it, and for me, it's good for me. I'll tell you that. You're 19 years now, 40 years old, you're playing, and it's like twilight now. It's like you see that stuff, and it just makes you feel good. It's like, you know what? Some days when I see him, I watch them now just to say, you know what, I can still do this.
You can't jump over a 7. You can't.
There's no way in the world.
You can't jump over a 7-footer, right?
That attempt right now would be an awful charge. where the coach would take me out of the game, like, what are you doing? Make the extra pass.
Did you ever talk to Frederick Weiss after you dunked over him?
We never. No. The only conversation we had. We played France in the final game, in the gold medal game, and the same type of situation happened where we're on that same left side of the block. I go out, and this time I'm actually trying to jump over him. He fouls me, knocks me in the first row onto the cameraman and all that. I get up, and I looked at him. He kind of smiled, and I kind of smiled. I said, I understand. And I understand. I understand this hard foul, and I'm okay with it. I would do the same thing. So, and that's probably the only conversation we've actually had face to face. I've never run across him since.
Wouldn't that be a great 30 for 30 and just call it the dunk?
That would be an odd one.
That would be odd. Get you two back together, all those that were there, everybody who watched it, and just have you guys.
That would be weird.
Well, it'd be really weird for him.
Weird. Think about it. If we both, just to say this, the two of us sitting there, who talks first?
You.
I say,
you.
What do I say? Back then, 2000. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I would be, or what do you say? You really hurt my feelings, and then I say I'm sorry. I don't know.
Okay, Vince, I'll moderate it. So I'll be the one that starts the conversation.
Somebody has to throw me the lob, and I'll go from there.
Yes, yeah. I'll set you up. I'll be Stockton. You'll be Malone, and then
Malone. We deliver.
Yeah, I'll say. We have a poll question today. Paulie, what is the poll question here for Vince?
We basically asked our listeners, whose life would you rather have? Billionaire, multi-time billionaire Warren Buffett, or one of the greatest dunkers of all time, Vince Carter?
Ooh.
Now, Buffett's worth how many billions?
There you go. How many billion? That was my question.
He's got 60 billion, Vince. Would you rather have
1 billion? That was good enough.
What do you? Well, ask Michael Jordan. Would you trade with Michael Jordan, Warren Buffett, or Michael Jordan?
Ooh, well, I'm going to say this, and some people, the sports side of me, I would definitely trade with Michael Jordan, because to be a billionaire, to own a team, and still be a part of the basketball world and the action is where it's at. 100%.
Did you see this quote by Lonzo Ball's dad? You familiar with Lonzo Ball? at UCLA?
I'm familiar.
Okay. And now his dad has come out and said back in the day he would have beaten Jordan one-on-one.
Yeah, I heard about it.
What do you think?
I cringed. I mean, there again, I've never seen him play. The stats, of course, the social media hawkers, of course, they go pull up the stats and see it. I mean, Michael Jordan was a bad man, plain and simple. Was a bad man, and I just think, why would he even if you did, why? Particularly in my opinion, if you're going out for this $1 billion for your kid,
yeah,
that's not something I'd say, because now you've definitely cut off one shoe company, in my opinion.
Nike,
no, Jordan,
yeah,
and probably Nike altogether, yeah, because they're gonna support MJ, and maybe it doesn't, but if in my game plan, if I'm going to say that, I wouldn't. One thing I wouldn't have said before is anything bad about Michael Jordan at all.
Do you think he's helping or hurting?
Draft time,
but
coming,
But Vince, do you think that Lonzo Ball's dad is helping or hurting his kids?
We all probably see it as he's hurting these kids, but he may see it different. So it's hard for us to really say. Hard for me to really say. I personally would tell my dad, hey, let's just lay low for a while until draft time gets around and all this stuff. So I personally, as the son, wouldn't want that to happen. But that's my approach. I like to lay low. I mean, he's marketing his kids.
Yeah.
He's putting them out there, and he's making sure, regardless of if you like him or not, you're going to know who he and his 3 kids are. So that's the strategy he wants to go for, and I think he's successful in it because we're having the conversation. As soon as it's said, what's the next thing we talk about? All of these things that he said. So whether or not he's the villain or the hero or the smart strategist with this, his goal is accomplished. But I definitely wouldn't say I'd leave Michael Jordan alone.
Does Michael Jordan think he could beat you right now?
Of course he does. This is Michael Jordan, and the way he thinks, absolutely.
Could he?
I wouldn't let him. I can't let him. I'm gonna put up a fight for sure.
Are you afraid to say that Jordan couldn't beat you because Mike is so competitive that he would?
I know Mike, and I know how competitive he is, and I know if it's a one-on-one with no referee, I've played against him in that setting before, and I know very little foul call. He won't allow very many foul calls against him, which is just not right. It's just not right.
But you could beat Jordan one-on-one now.
I think I can. Just as of right now, today, this week.
Yeah.
I think so because I'm playing. He's not playing. So I definitely have to use that to my advantage. The longer the game plays out, I think if we play the 3, it's different. We played a 10. I like my chances.
All right.
I got a shot.
How about this? Both 24, both dunking. Dunk contest, you and Jordan.
I like me in the dunk contest. I can't step down from that one.
It's amazing.
Great player all time. I give it to Mike.
But, Vince, what's interesting? Even Reggie Miller, when I have him on once a week, and Reggie's about the same age as Mike, everybody is nervous still about saying anything about Jordan.
I agree. Like my legs are shivering over here. I don't want to see Mike. He's like, yo, you think you can out-dunk him? Well, I mean, Mike, that's the only shot I have against you, buddy. That's it. That's it.
Congrats on last night. I hope there's no reason to retire, is there?
No, I don't think so. I hear people tell me, you're doing this for what? I still love the game. I'm still able to play the game. When my body says it's had enough, it's had enough. When the love is gone, I'll walk away. But, I still think I could play this game at a high level and compete. And, every opportunity I get to kind of be the old VC that we know, I'm going to do it.
So you're coming back next year?
Yes.
Nice. And you can guard Lonzo
Absolutely.
Ball.
Probably so.
But don't try to guard his dad because he could score on you.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'll just follow him and put it at the free throw line. Why not?
Safe travels there. Congrats again on
Thank you.
last night, Vincent. Always great to catch up with you. Thank you.
Always a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Vince Carter, Memphis Grizzlies guard, coming back next year, age of 41. They are so nervous now to say anything about Jordan. Now. Jordan's still a killer.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.